Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Dialogue with the Youth, so on Gunjur Online TV. Once again, we are back today, Friday. Juma Mubarak to all of you, wherever you are, our viewers, the whole world over. You know, we are here today. The time, date is 17th of September 2021. The time is about nearly 7 o'clock in UK, and the Gambia, the time is about 6 o'clock. We are back again to discuss issues, especially issues that affects our youth. You know, they are the foundation of our country. And, you know, once again, you know, we also take inspiration from our renowned people and experienced people. You know, once again, today we have somebody that is a well-known Gambian, a renowned property developer in the Gambia and the African continent at large. He call himself an African entrepreneur, and he is an unparalleled asset for the Gambia and a positive example for our dear country. We are humbled to have a giant. I will just keep repeating: developer, entrepreneur, and a philanthropist, and above all, very, very, very down to earth and humbled. Once again, I have to invite Mr. and Uncle TAF Njie, and to Gunjur Online. Mr. Njie, welcome to Dialogue with the Youth on Gunjur Online TV.
Thank you very much, Ibrahima. And I'm equally humbled for those nice words that you say. And I just want to give you a point of correction that I am not a giant. I am a normal, humble human being, and more so a Gambian. And also a youth, you know, my name is youth man, huh? So I claim the right of being, you know, a youth.
Yeah, thank you so much, and we will play your video here. You know, at least people will have the gist of what we are going to discuss. And Lamin Jame, the technician, will put your video here, the short video, and from there we will discuss about the issues that are in place, especially the TAF City, you know, which is just at the corridor of Gunjur and between Gunjur and Sifo. Lamin Jame, go ahead and play the video.
We are on our way going to TAF City with the rest of the sales team. TAF City is our new estate located in Gunjur Sifo area. Hopefully, when we are there, we will give an overview of how the place looks like. Here today, the sales team, to introduce ourselves or to familiarize ourselves with the upcoming TAF Africa development called the TAF City. This is located between Gunjur and Sifo. It's going to be a smart city where you can live, work and trade.
The TAF City is a pilot project of the micro-cities that we want to roll out in Africa. So we're starting in the Gambia and obviously rolling it out in Africa as we try to reach 1 million homes within the next 20 years. So don't miss out.
Now we just started the road walks and the layout for the garden. I'm targeting that before the end of the year, works will start in earnest, houses will be built. So start sending your inquiries to our sales team. And this is the best place to live in the Gambia.
Thank you, Lamin Jammeh. We're proud to be a Gunjurian. You know, Sukutankas, the Sukutarians will be yearning for this opportunity. Unfortunately, they don't have the land to have a smart city, you know, forced in the Gambia. Mr. Njie, since 1977, you know, that was when you were employed by Balfour Beatty in an international construction company in the Gambia. Over 45 years now, you know, career experience in real estate construction, mentorship, philanthropism. Can you please share your experience and your brief journey, briefly your journey to where you are, so that our young people can know life is not a shortcut. You have to go through different, and then sometimes you have to be very patient. As you said, you have to have passion, work hard, and commitment. And I will add the fourth one to that. That is, you have to be a little bit patient. You know, so seeing you today, many of them might think that, you know, Uncle Taff is lucky. You know, he has all these things. Might be, you know, but you've worked, you know, a lot to be where you are, and it takes you long time, about 45 years plus career. You know, give advice to our young people, the youth of our country and Africa at large.
Yeah, Ibrahim, I mean, I'll even go further. I mean, you want to start from 1977. In 1977, I was 20 years old. But I had started working immediately I left school, which was in 1975. Because, you know, I was very good in woodwork. And at Gambia High School, when I finished my O levels, I was employed, you know, to teach there. So 2 years I taught in Gambia High School and also in Lamin High School, which was then Missouri. But even before that, for the youth, when I was in Form 2, Form 3, you know, in Gambia High School, age about maybe 14, 15, what we used to do with me and my friends, or my friends and I, was to work at GPMB, holiday, when we was holiday work, and we used to work at the docks, at the ship, at the wharf. So when ships come into Gambia, importing rice, when rice was coming, we used to work as sweepers. And you will work, some will work at day, some will work at night. So the rice that was spilled on the deck, we will broom it up and then put it into bags and bag it. And then when the Gambia was exporting groundnut cake, those days we used to mill here groundnuts for oil. When they exported groundnut cakes, the dock workers will be inside the hole, empty the rakal, the cake, groundnut cake, and then we will pack these sacks, the empty sacks, and then we were paid. So at a very young age, about the ages of 14 and 15, we started sweating for ourselves. So again, an advice for the youth, it's never early to earn your hard and sweat. Because then our parents, we come from very humble background. I mean, if you see people like me today, you will think, oh, no, he was born rich, he was lucky. But our parents were poor, not poor, but they were average family as such, living like any ordinary Gambian, making hand, what we call hand to mouth. But they raised us up to be ready to work for a living. So that's my journey. From there, obviously, I work with Balfour Beatty, I work with Luis Diaz de Losada, I work with Seo Cisse for 15 good years. So between between Gambia High School and starting my business, it took me 15 years to do my apprenticeship. And again, advice to the youth, these days, they want to move too fast. You should take your time. Life can be very long. To make sure whatever you are doing, you be a master of it, a master of any profession you are doing or any trade or any skills. But these days, what we see very often is that within some few years, you want to be on your own and you are never master of the game. So that's my advice. I mean, what I went through, I was very well prepared and I was disciplined and used to working. If you watch some of my videos that I released about a week or two ago, I was telling the young people again that you have to start work early because I was used to that. I was used to working for Balfour Beatty where work starts at 7 o'clock. So when we were doing some work at the airport and I was coming from Banjul, I needed to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So by 7 o'clock, I'm there. So that's my advice to the youth, that the earlier you work, the more hours you work, then the likelihood of you succeeding.
Wow, that's fantastic, really. I only hope the youth of our country will learn not only to see you as a successful man, to learn from your history and read from your Facebook page. Most of the things that you've put there are revelatory, and any of us from that background, even us, I remember we used to work at school and go and eat with our parents at 2 o'clock in the farm, in the rice fields, in the groundnut fields. So it's not automatic, but we're going to go forward, the first of its kinds in the Gambia, an eco and smart city that will be aesthetically appealing, environmentally friendly, and very sustainable for Gambians. It will be smart and green with species of flowers from all over the globe. That's your word, Uncle Taf. Can you please tell us about the project TAF City in Gunjur? Why Gunjur, and what impact will this have on that part of our country, our country, from I can say from Brikama to Katong, really, because it's a size of as big as that, really will have a big impact in the whole of Combos. Go ahead, Mr. Uncle.
Yeah, okay. You see, Ibrahim, let me first tell you that, look, everybody knows that over the years, over the past 8 years to 10 years, I have been working outside of the country and to a certain extent quite successful. We've been to a country as big as Nigeria and we've made our mark. We are recognized. And now at the continental level, TAF Africa Global is recognized as one of the biggest and the most serious real estate developers. We have earned that. So at my age now, one of the things that I've always, been yearning for is to have a good legacy. I want to be remembered with something that will be here, indelible, so nobody can wipe out. So it's not the amount of money I leave in a bank account or the number of buildings I own, but I wanted to impact lives. I wanted to impact the lives of first Gambians and then Africans. So 2 years ago, I had this vision that I wanted to develop 1 million homes across sub-Saharan Africa. There is no developer today in Africa that has made that statement with that vision and working on it. So over the past 2 years, we've been preparing for this. And whilst we prepare for it, sorry, my WhatsApp is connected. I try to put this off.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sorry, let me just quickly try and put this off, disconnect my WhatsApp. Somebody's insisting. Sorry about this. Okay. I had this dream, this vision, and I had an opportunity to do it elsewhere because Nigeria is bigger, the demand is more. Nigeria. I mean, the housing deficit in Nigeria is about 17 million housing deficit. There's a demand, and the same thing with other countries. But as we say in English, that charity begins at home. So I thought that, look, where would be a better place to do this than in the Gambia? Now, we could have just been around to develop estates. Like in 2017, when we started to work big time in Gambia again, we started with Dalaba. We bought land there. We developed 375 houses. Then now Tulip is about 600. But in order to make an impact, so we don't only develop an estate and leave, we need to develop a settlement like a city. Banjul, and as you know, just the TAF city in Gunjur, let me just give you so you can compare it. When it's ready with our plans, it's twice bigger than Banjul. Banjul is 245 hectares. Our planned size of land that we are looking for in Gunjur, by the time everything is ready, it's 500 hectares. So far, we are only starting with the first phase. The first phase will be at 1,500 houses. By the time we do all the phases, it will be 5,000 houses. Now, again, the methodology around the cities we are developing, we're trying to follow the whole value chain of buildings, living, and more so agriculture. Because I am a strong believer that our country, the Gambia, can only be pushed by, will only do well with agriculture. Agriculture is for me, is the topmost sector that can develop this country. So what we are doing now, we're using the agricultural value chain in our new city. So there you're going to have horticulture, we're going to have animal husbandry, we're going to have poultry, we're going to have, and all will be in intensive farming, like greenhouses. And then everywhere will be lined up with trees, green and fruit trees and so on. By the way, if you look at the place, if you know the place, it's very green. But if you look at the video, it's very green. And we only cut a tree when we cannot avoid cutting it. For example, if the design is in the middle of the road, But even our policy is that the moment we cut one tree where we cannot avoid, we replace it by a minimum of 4 trees. So the place will all have trees, and most of them will be fruit trees. And now, answering your question on the impact it will have in that area. You see, when we build houses, the type of houses that we are building, if you build one single house, it employs on average between 12 to 20 people. So, for example, if we are to build 5,000 houses, a minimum of 60,000 jobs will be created. And everybody knows to build a house, you have to learn a trade. You have to be a carpenter, a mason, or a tiler, a painter, a plumber, an electrician. There are other jobs that you can do, but the main thing is technical. So yes, what impact it will have on the community, value will definitely go up. That is normal. When developments like this come to your area, all the value of everything around will start going up because there will be a demand and we will rush there, which has already started. And then now the benefit of the community is that they will have access to a lot of things, and not to move from there to Serekunda or to Banjul. So Gunjur in the very medium and long term will be a city and no longer a town. And it will also influence all those areas, C4 and all the villages and towns that are around. So in terms of benefit, let me just stop there. It will create employment. It's value for money. And again, when you have the sea there, it's up to you to go and fish. And that's why again, since we are talking to the youth, an opportunity is now in their backyard. And they should now come up and say, look, what can I do? What can I do to make a living here? For example, the women, there are already now, as I talk to you, over 100 workers are there. some women, also young women, can be cooking something to go and sell to them. It's an opportunity. So really, I would want to appeal to the youth. And when I say the youth is both male and female, just try and think, what can I do here? What can I supply? What can I, and really it's like football, Ibrahim. In football, you don't wait for the ball, you go for the ball. So in life, that's what it is. If you see an opportunity, don't go and claim entitlement, but ask yourself, what is it that I can do to add value in here? For example, today, our youth, let them come and start working with their hands as an apprentice. Some of this trade, Ibrahima, if you go there and start genuinely wanting to work, one, you will make money. I will tell you, how much they're paying laborers now if you don't have a skill at all, but you are ready to work 8 hours. You know how much you get paid? About $9,000. It's about $300, $350 a day.
Wow.
And then once you are there, you can be learning the trade. For example, if you work with the carpenters, you will be learning how to be a carpenter. If you're a mason, you learn how to be a mason. By the time you say 3, 4, 5 years, you'll qualify as a mason. And then you will start earning $500, $600. I mean, that's $15,000 a month. But you must be ready to suffer. You must be ready to sweat for it. That's the bottom line. So this thing about, no, the government is not providing for us. Ibrahim is my cousin. He's in England. He doesn't want to help me. You will never get it. You need to go there and sweat like most of us have done. So let me stop there and then allow you to speak or to ask a question.
You know what? Really, I am really impressed. I think we will come to that. What are the mechanisms that will be in place to attract diaspora and Gambians so that they can come back having the smart cities there? Why should you be in UK when you can live somewhere near the breezy Atlantic Ocean of Gunjur? Fantastic place to live. Uncle TAF, in terms of employment, now I know about 60,000 employment is going to be generated there and increasing really. So that answers one of the questions, that I'm going to ask in terms of youth employment. But people, the communities around the TAF city, the Sifos, the Gunjur, the Katons, the Tanenes, and all those things anyway, all are in Gunjur. On up to Brikama, even Kiti, is this is apprenticeship, open specifically, or initiatives that are there to encourage the youths of those places to come and learn trade, because this is going to be a life skill for you, and you are going to learn it free with having a lot of money from it. Is there any initiative that you create awareness around this community so that they can know this project is there, this is what is available? You can have a living of 15,000, 9,000 is a lot of money, even in any standard anywhere in the world. Do you have any?
Well, look, let me tell you. We have a foundation. The TAF Africa Foundation. What we have done, and I really want to treat these things whilst we give priority to the community, but we are one Gambia. So any Gambian that is willing, there's more than enough for everybody. So we should avoid this issue about, no, I come from Banjul, so therefore give us the Banjulians. I come from Bakau, so us the Bakau. Banjul, Gambia is very small. It's only 2 million plus. So you create opportunities, and the opportunities that we have created is enough for everybody, not only people from Gunjur, but any young Gambian that is ready to work. There's an opportunity for you. But obviously, it's closest to Gunjur, to Tanene, to Sifo. So it's an added advantage to them. They don't need to pay fare from Serekunda to come all the way to there. They can even walk. They can take a bicycle to reach there. So it's right in front of them. So now, but let me tell you on a bigger picture, and as a Gambian, we have set up the TAF Africa Foundation, where we commit 1% of our annual earnings into the foundation. Recently, we started a pilot project, which is to train young Gambians as apprentices in masonry. It was in one of my videos, you will see it. Today, we are training them at Tulip Gardens, which is in Jambanjedi. 25 of them are undergoing an 18-month training program. And we guarantee them, when they qualify, we are going to employ them. So you are guaranteed employment. We are training them, we pay for them for their fares, we give them uniforms and everything, and we want to enlarge it every year. Training is not cheap. So what we do is we try to encourage people to come in. We screen them to see how serious they are. But, community that is close is always advantage. So they have an advantage of bicycling to the new TAF City to find work or just to walk and come there. But I think it will benefit them. It's a great opportunity for them.
It is a fantastic opportunity for young people. Please don't despair. Life is not shortcut, as we said. Work hard, have passion to see yourself in them. Set yourself target. This is a very, very good opportunity. And Gunjur Online, as always, we are going to keep campaigning to encourage our youth to go and learn a trade, to learn a skill. The world is now anchored on the skills developments, the capacity building of our. When you have a younger population, stop going through these back ways and spending all those money. Please go to Mr. Uncle TAF, and you will have greater opportunity, not only to get a living, to have a decent money, but you have a skill that will live with you for the rest of your life. Nobody can take that from you. Uncle TAF, the TAF City will change Gunjur, Sifo, and the whole of the Gambia. Not only that, the whole of the Gambia. However, what about you factoring about affordable housing for youths or young people who may be the first-time buyers, especially around Gunjur, Sifo area, but the whole of the Gambia, the young people, the first-time buyers? What is your plan?
Ibrahima, those issues about first-time buyers is in you with the West. Imagine our uncles and our fathers who has worked all their lives. Up to the age of 60, they haven't even bought a house. Don't you think those are priority than the youths? Those who are like the uncles and the fathers and the aunties that have worked so hard, but they cannot afford a house. So I don't want to differentiate between first-time buyers, second-time buyers, and third-time buyers. Let us work on affordable housing. That is what is key. And anybody who qualifies, whether you are 25 years old, or you are 50 years old or whatever, let's look at the qualification to be able to be eligible to have access to this housing. Now, recently I said in one of my interviews that, look, to build a house is not cheap, and we all know that, anywhere in the world. And remember, Gambia, things are very expensive because everything that you put in a house, 90-something% of things you use in the house is imported. So the control is not with the developer. From the cement, even stones, if you want to build apartments, a lot of people don't tell me, you have to build apartments for the land. If you have to build apartments, you have to use basalt. And basalt is imported from Senegal. You pay CFE. The windows, the doors, the tiles, the ceiling, the nails, the electrical, the plumbing, everything is imported. And the prices are beyond your control. Now, recently, when COVID hit, shipping all over the world went up by over 70% or more. I'll just give an example. Container, 20-foot container from some part of China to Gambia used to be about $3,000. The last time I checked, it was $6,700. That's more than 100-something%. So obviously, by the time you take all this into account, you factor all this in, prices are expensive. And the salary of all these people is limited. We all know that public servants, civil servants, the average Gambian, doesn't earn more than $5,000-6,000 or so, maximum. Now, the best way to be able to access housing or to land is by having a mortgage. Nobody will have a bulk saved, even you who are living in Europe. You cannot have bulk that you just go and buy a house cash. So what we have done is to address the need to have mortgages here. So we have engaged the banks that, look, you need to offer mortgages. And we have been now at least successful that GT Bank, Eco Bank, and Trust Bank are now offering mortgages from 5 to 10 years. It's the beginning, and some diasporans are benefiting, and they offer you mortgage both in hard currency and in dollars. Now, obviously, you have to pay equity, equity of 25%. But let's face it, even for those of you in Europe, coming up with that 25%, it's not easy.
No, it's not. It's not.
So what I think what we are working on now, because you know the Gunjur C4 area, it's now prime, it's hotspot, it's expensive now. So we are now thinking that we need to go around beyond Brikama, going up towards the Foyi, and find very cheap land there, demarcate it, do it properly, so that the public servants and generally people within a certain bracket will be able to at least access the land, to say, okay, this land, this 10 by 20 or 10 by whatever is mine. And then maybe through your savings or some relative that will help you or whatever, then you will be able to build gradually. But it is very difficult for somebody who earns something like $5,000, $3,000 a month. And then the standards of living are too expensive now. It's very difficult to provide, houses that they can afford. But as I said in my interview, we will never sit on our laurels. We think that we have a moral responsibility to do everything possible within our means to try and make, access to land. I want to just stress access to land more affordable and also accessible.
Fantastic, really, really revelatory for our young people, and the Gambians generally. These are fantastic opportunities that is unfolding in our backyard. And I'm saying in our backyard sarcastically to laugh to Sukutarians anyway, because, one of my Sukutarian colleagues told me now the capital is in Sukuta, but when we have this smart city in Gunjur, he will not going to say that anymore. 5,000 home, in extended period of time. I'm not sure whether you have the skills required in the Gambia, architects, engineers, professional masons, designers, and all those things to build TAF City. Or are you thinking of you need to supplement the skill set required, from other countries to bring, to come and help you, because this is a gigantic project?
Let me tell you, Ibrahim, we are an African company, but we give priority to our own people. So today, if you, Ibrahim, you are an engineer, and I have an engineer from Senegal who's looking for work, I will give you priority. And there's no harm. I mean, the Americans will say, buy America, So there's nothing wrong in that. So therefore, first thing is to make sure that you have the skill. But if you have a Gambian who doesn't have the skill of an engineer, and you have an engineer from Senegal, obviously you need an engineer. So you have to employ somebody from Senegal. And that is why we're emphasizing this issue about training. If we can find the personnel in the Gambia, we give them priority. Apart from that, we look at Africans in general. For example, when we went to Nigeria, in Nigeria to build the Rift-Taf Golf Estate, we had to take there 400 Gambians and Senegalese. 400. And again, that's what Africa is calling for now. I mean, ECOWAS, for example, if you're an ECOWAS citizen, you have a right to work in any ECOWAS country. And again, even border crossing and trade and everything now, about the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. So the continent is going borderless. So what I would advise the youth is that they should be trained and be competitive. So if you are Gambian today, you can find a job in Cote d'Ivoire, they'll pay you more. You go there and you have a right to work there. So the basic point is be competitive, be trained. Ibrahim, you're not living in the Gambia now. You are in England. You went there, you compete, whatever you are doing, you are competing with anybody in the world. They're not seeing you as Gambian. They are employing you because you have the skills to perform and the discipline to work. So again, because it's a youth show, let us emphasize the fact that our youth should be there, willing, ready to work and sweat. There's no easy way. You need to be on the sun. If the last time I can show you a video, last Sunday, I was there on the site for 6 hours on a Sunday. So they must suffer. They will be ready to work hard. No pain, no gain, huh?
No pain, no gain. No pain, no gain. I agree, Uncle Taf. Definitely agree. Please, youth, this is so important. Fantastic opportunity there. They go and learn skills. skills that are transferable. You can have these skills and better your life. You don't need to take the risk to go to back way and spend all that money. Most of the time you come back traumatized, or you lose your life, you lose your investments, and all. You are in the quagmire because you are not here, you are not there. You will be in Europe and be in the asylum camps, while you can have 15,000. You can have a life skill with yourself, and from there, sky is the limit for you. Uncle Taf, but you mentioned about, I saw in one of your posts, the public-private partnership for affordable housing. Impressively, proudly, I have Sierra Leonean friends here, and I saw you in Sierra Leone, agreements to provide affordable housing units and development into cities in Sierra Leone. I read about and saw about, I see the River Taf Golf Estate and your projects in Nigeria proudly as a Gambian. But even in Guinea, I saw the budget minister with you, the Ismail Jobate, with you, talking about real estate in Guinea, the possibility of investing in real estate in Guinea. I didn't see you with the Gambia government.
Oh no, I am working with the Gambia government. I mean,
for affordable housing, for public
not on affordable housing. No, not on affordable housing. You know why? Let me tell you why. And to be very honest, you know, the Gambia government don't control land anymore. Legally, all the land, in this area from here to Birkama, the Combo land is all declared state land. And normally they should identify certain parcel of land, just like Brusubi. Brusubi was all communal land, but the government took it and then have it as an estate, gave it to Social Security. But, in this new compensation, and it started since Jammeh, the community, have been very strong in taking over the communal land. For example, where I am now in Gunjur and Sifo, the government couldn't give it to me. I had to buy it from the Kabilos. So you see, that's the reason why it's difficult to have a partnership with the Gambia government on affordable housing. Because anywhere they go now, the Kabilos will have to fight with them over the land. If they came to Gunjur, for example, or to even Pirang or Faraba, and say, look, we are going to take part of this land and compensate you on what the compensation says, which is not much. Oh, people will fight. That's what we have in this country today. But what we do is we buy from market prices, market rate, and then it's not with government. When government, assists, for example, in this one that we are doing in Gunjur, we are asking them that, look, in terms of, because when you want to change the land use, at times they will charge you a lot of fees. And we're telling them, no, you cannot charge all these fees, because what we are doing is creating employment, is boosting the economy, and also it's providing housing. So I think they're considering it. Those are the things that they can do. They can facilitate some of the things that can, jack the price up. Because, Ibrahim, you have to remember that, whether it's in Gambia, Guinea, America, or China, if you are in the private sector, in the private sector, the reason why you are private is because you take risk, and then you have costs, then you have your margin as profit. Now, taking risk, you can make all your projections that, look, to build this house, I am going to, let's say, spend $1,000 in buying all the materials. By the time everything is ready, I need to make maybe 20% profit or 10% profit. Now, what you are getting there, if it's 20%, it's $200. Now, even that, because you are taking risk, you can lose that $200. Something can go wrong somewhere, and then you have a liability to pay taxes. The private sector pays 25% of its profit to government as tax. And then obviously you have your social corporate responsibility, philanthropy and all this stuff. But at times people make this mistake as if the private companies owe it to them to give them cheap houses. It's not possible. That is the responsibility of the government. Actually, in some countries, as you know, for example, in England, all these council flats that you see, What's the right word? It's subsidized. There's a mechanism to make sure that it is cheap so that it can be affordable. It's a whole structure. Some countries in Africa, what they do, they have social housing. Social housing, you lower the quality of the finish. Basic. And then you give the developers certain incentives, like tax-free, you don't do this, you have duty-free, you do this. And then, but they tell you that the price cannot be more than this price. Say, for example, they will tell you that, okay, you have to build this house, which will be this size and this quality, but you have to sell it for $300,000, not more than that. So that's a social housing. So in terms of bracket, you can have social housing schemes, you can have affordable housing which the private sector can participate, and then you have the open market, which can be very high.
Yes, thank you, Uncle TAF. But that's what I'm saying. The whole government mechanism cannot be bereft, with tools that they can work with private sectors. Especially one of the best in the whole of Africa and arguably in the world. To partnership, public-private partnership, anyhow that will be, so that at least we can have our own Gambian who, if it is only money, will have been in somewhere else developing, and talk to him, because my heart melts when I see the Sierra Leonean, what they're saying about Madibaos, his projection as a government. It wasn't there before, and he came with this initiative to invite you, the genius of all people. They're not better than us. If they can carve out and come and take you people, you're not using your man. Let's take him and invite him to our country and discuss about the possibilities of creating something, whether there's going to be tax breaks, whether it's going to be duty-free, whatever. The government solely can do that, Uncle TAF. And if they are not doing that, seeing other countries that are potentially not better than us doing it, then that's a big question to ask, seeing the dilapidation of housing in that country. I was a teacher in Jara Bureng, which is not even far. The amount of living that people are around those areas in the Dogorobas, the Nyawuruluns, and all those things, it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. I don't know what the government is going to do, but they have to have a solution to that. And to me, one of the ways to do that is to tap into our Gambian brothers who have been really, really, they just make themselves towering giants. You don't want me to use that, but really speaking, you are in real estate, the whole of Africa and the world. Let's see what they can offer. Call Mr. TAF and say, how can you advise us for an affordable housing in the Gambia? Because rain is coming, sweeping our houses. Some are in thatch houses. During the raining season, rain pour down on them and their families. And they have kids. These kids are going to school, and they are likely going to be Gambian presidents tomorrow. That's not a good thing. Anyway, this is not politics. It's just that I feel so sad that, some of the conditions that people are living in those countries, at least we have a discussion and see what we can do about their plights. But once again, and you said you have an ardent desire to transplant the Dubai mentality into the Gambian action. I like this. This required meticulous planning, foresight, dedication to excellence, but government support or partnership. I added that there. You didn't add that there. To replicate Dubai's success in the Gambia, you need other things. But I said government support or public support. You are thinking and planning. We have Dubai master plan for 2040, vision for the next 20 years. I ask, do we have a Gambian master plan for affordable fighting, for smart cities and all? Because remember, this is going to boost our economy and our standing in the world, for affordable housing, urban space, and design. Do we have it on the plate?
Yeah, well, I don't think they do, but I mean, let me talk about Ibrahim, what you have said. I know it's not politics, but the timing is right. Remember we have about 20 people who are vying for the top job. This is the time to ask them now, what are their plans to provide social and affordable housing?
Definitely.
Because as you know, over the next 2 months, they're knocking on all our doors, asking for our voters card. So these are the things that, I hope that all the journalists are listening, that they should ask the different political parties and different presidential candidates, that what plans do you have to put a roof over their shed, over our head? So it's the right time to ask. And this is an open question to all of them, because they come out with their manifestos that, look, if you elect me, this is what I'm going to do. So yes, I don't think there's anything wrong in that. And we can only advise all these governments, because the government of Adama Barrow, his term, this term that he served, is going to end the 9th of January. He can be re-elected or somebody else can come. That is a reality. So they should start planning now that what we want as Gambians is to engage the private sector, not Mustapha Njie in particular, but just engage the private sector to make housing more affordable. There are initiatives all over the world that you can tap into to get affordable money, affordable help, the multilaterals, the bilaterals. There are ways of doing these things, and they should learn from other countries that have successfully done this. President Macky Sall, when he won the last election, he promised that he was going to build 100,000 houses over a 5-year period. Whether it has been done or not, we don't know. But at least you plan it. So one of the things that our political leaders should tell us is that, what are you going to do for us in the next 4 years if we elect you? And then how are you going to do it? So I totally agree with you. The country should be master planned, because we have a very small country. We don't have much land. That is the reality. Gambia is about number 7 or number 8, the most densely populated country in Africa. The way you calculate population density, you look at the number of people, who are all living in the Gambia. So you know that a certain number of people are living in every kilometer on average. And we are very dense. The most densely populated, I think, it's places like Rwanda and Mauritius. Those are the most densely populated. But that's why they are managing. So then the government will come out with policies to say that, look, because we are so much densely populated, and that there's bound to be crisis, and it can even bring social upheavals, because we are all squeezing. That's why you saw the issues with some cemeteries being sold, people fighting for land. It's not their fault. There's not enough for everybody now. But therefore, the government should come up with policies to say, look, no parcel of land should be bigger than so much. When you build, it should be like this. So good policies, and make sure they implement it. That will help all this crisis. I totally agree with you. Government should come up with a master plan, not only here, but the master plan should be from Banjul to Koina. Because very soon, you are going to have this type of cities also being developed all the way in Basse, because people will be living there. Now, if you want to decongest the peri-urban and the peri-urban area, the capital area here, from here to Birkama, what do? You create employment in those places. For example, I have done my research, and in the Basse area, where it's very hot and humid, dates, as in Tandarma, dates, is one of the most expensive fruits now in the world. And the climate is very ideal to grow dates. And you can grow dates in 5 years and they'll be matured. So why don't the government engage some people who want to invest in this type of project? And we have the river there. It's all good water for farming and agriculture and irrigation. So therefore, government should take those initiatives. Go out there, bring in some commercial farmer. There's a look. Go to Basse or Koina or whatever. We will give you this initiative. You have a tax break for 5 years or 10 years. We will do this for you. Fuel you will not pay. This you will not pay. But the condition is that you must employ so many people, and then also you must build so much social services, like build a stadium there, so the young people will not live there to come and play in Serekunda or in Brikama, but they will stay there. So you create a Banjul, a Brikama. Nowadays, the TAF city in Gunjur, you create them in every cluster, every state, regional capital. For example, the Basse area, you create a regional capital there with all these facilities. These days, remember, Ibrahima, everywhere you go, you can have fast internet. I was listening to the president yesterday with all these electrical programs. Very soon in the Gambia, with OMVG supplying, solar coming in, you will have electricity everywhere. Water, you can have underground water. What else do you need? Why should you leave Basel and come to Banjul or Serekunda? So it's all good planning, good policies, and we are, again, the timing is right. All our people who are vying to be president, tell us now what plans you have for us for the next 5 years so that we can know where to put our cards.
Yeah, fantastic. As you said, it's all about, meticulous planning, foresight, dedication to excellence. And Uncle Taff, let's use our Gambian brothers. They are nobody within the sub-region are better than them. And they have the empathy. Look at you, you doing this to have a legacy and developing this place. Definitely if we communicate, with our entrepreneurs, and they are one of the best. Why is Nigerians and the Sierra Leoneans and everybody else coming vulturing for you while you are in the Gambia and nobody's? It's difficult. It's really difficult. And this is not only you, it's many other people that can build that country, just because we communicate. I was reading about Brazil, how they develop infrastructure. As you said, sometimes they give you import free, no tax, no duty, but just go into somewhere in the very remote area when the World Cup was there, and people were just developing this place, and people are migrating to the congestion in the capital city, and the city is not planned, the urban space, which is fantastic. I think I will ask you, that's not about the TAF city, but we will go into that, because the whole of Kombo to Banjul to Kartong is all now urbanized now, and it's hugely congested. So a lot of people, because there's a lot of the fauna and the flora in that place at the TAF city is fantastic. I used to hunt there. We go hunting there. We go hunting for wild fruits, cabbages, and all those things. It's a fantastic place. There were times, that we will just, play and say there are dragons there, there are lions there, because of the forest where they are thick forests, and sometimes, elders will say, we saw a tiger there, the crocodiles were there, from Salaba to where it is. Fantastic place. And of course, 5,000 houses is going to affect the environment. And I appreciate it. I saw those trees from Nigerian's forest and all those things. By the way, I think you need to sell those trees to us, or you give us to any all the compound in Gunjur should have one, because they are fantastic trees. I was salivating when I saw those trees, and I will demand for one anyway to put it in my garden. So
no problem.
Definitely I will. And what you're doing, I saw the palm trees there and in your videos. I've not been in this place for a long time, and they are fantastic. And what you are doing there, are you going to have like mini stadiums there? Markets.
Yes.
Are you going to have like artificial forest covers? Here and there, because in Europe here, some of the estates they will leave a little bit of forest trees and all those things, which is fantastically nice and is environmental friendly and as you said, sustainable. What is your plan in those to protect the environment in those places?
Let me tell you, obviously we are doing an environment impact assessment. You cannot do works we are doing because we deal with international bankers and so on, and that is a requirement. So whatever we do, the environment is a concern. Now, apart from that, I told you about the trees, that we want to make it, because it's a green city. Because what is happening now? When you qualify by if they assess you and you've put your place so green, it makes you access certain funds. There are green funds. If you score certain rates that your place is so green, and are also using things like alternative energy and so on for the environment, you score points, and those points will make you eligible to certain type of funding. So that's why we are very much aware about the environment and the trees. Now, again, we are going to grow as many trees as possible. When the plants will be out by end of next week, fully blown, so everyone will see what is being done. We're going to have not only one park, there are different parks. Because let me tell you quickly, Ibrahima, the city is developed into so many estates. And in the estates, in the city itself, every estate has been given a name. For example, there's one estate that is called Benna, number one. And then the other estate, the second estate is called Didi, and in Fula. The third estate is called Saba. There's four which is called, I think it's Batik or Baki. One is Jola, one is Serial. And then we have one that is called Seven, as in Aku, Manjago is in Paj. Paj is number 6. So that's how we've designed it. But in each estate, you have a park, you have small sitting area, and security-wise, it is secured by one entrance. And then we have divided it into so many facilities inside the city. For example, the front bit is all going to be commercial. Petrol station, shopping centers, anything commercial, a farmer's market. Because what we want to do, let me just stop there for now. We're encouraging the residents to be doing some intensive agriculture and the nearby villages. So we're going to create a farmer's market. So if you produce something, we're going to build a cold room there, then you can come and sell it there. So when you sell it there, then we can also freeze it, and then you can earn money. So you're not wasting your produce. That's what I mentioned about the value chain. Then the second belt is going to be educational. So you're going to have a primary school there. You're going to have a crest or a nursery school. You're going to have a high school. You're going to have a vocational training center there, and also a university. Then after that, you now have all the estates. You're going to have a retirement village. Because we have noticed that quite a number of people, like for example yourself, if you stayed in Europe until about 60, you want to come back home to Gunjur, yes, you are a Gunjurian or whatever it's called, but you want to have your different life that you are living in England. There's nothing wrong with that. So you need to have facilities. For example, if you are living there, you need to have good medical care, as good as what you have in Europe or in America. So we are catering for that category of society. You're going to have a boutique hotel there. You're going to have a wellness center there. So we're putting in as much affluent things that people will need when they're there.
I read one of your posts, about providing sustainable quality and affordable healthcare within sustainable quality and affordable home project. I think having that health system there really, really good. At least we are, and we have fantastic markets and malls. At least we are not going to go to Birikama market to buy our vegetables. Maybe we'll have that fantastic market there.
Brahma, let me just interrupt you there. Brahma, you guys, you have not been. When was the last time you came there to Gunjur? Or when was the last time?
2017.
17. Honestly, The traffic now between Gunjur and Birikama, it's like you are in Serakunda. The amount of cars that are and transport that are applying that road is so busy now. It's unbelievable. So it's a busy belt. It's very busy because people don't care now. Like I check when I drive between Brufut. I live in Brufut. So between Brufut and the TAF City, it takes me 30 minutes. Nowadays, you cannot leave Brufut and go to Banjul in 30 minutes. It takes you 1 hour or more. So you see how close things are. Maybe you continue. You were going to say something.
Yes, and the urban spacing come into play here. I deliberately don't want to. There's a lot of comments here. Normally, I read all of them, but this time, because very soon you're going to go, it will be Maghreb very soon in the Gambia. So, but I have to read this one, which says, what is his thoughts on creating a municipality within Western region, especially the Bijilo Gunjur corridor? I think that has some relevant to the buildings and infrastructure. That's why I'm reading that. But my pleasure, and I'm humbled really. people are just commenting, they're asking questions. Somebody asked, where can you get the land? I think that's also very relevant, Uncle Taf. Maybe you can talk about those. Yes, Mr. JT says, Bamfa, what is his thought on creating a municipality within Western region, especially the Bijulo Gunjur corridor?
Listen, Ibrahim, everybody has a responsibility. It's like asking Mr. Taf, why can't you create an army or a police group or customs? That's the responsibility of a government. That has got nothing to do with a developer. Municipality is created by government, and that's the role of a government. A private business cannot come and create a municipality. So they let them ask that question to government. So that's the straight answer. That's not my responsibility to create a municipality.
Yes, I'm just going to take 5 minutes and leave you to go, because I don't want you to miss your Maghrib prayer.
Yes.
And
anybody who wants to ask, I've seen the comments also on Facebook. Yes. Anybody who wants to find out about this development, just go to our website. Our website is info@tafafricaglobal.com. I'm sure you all know TAF Africa Global. If you just Google it up, you will see our website, and you can send questions, or follow me. I have a YouTube channel now, which is Mustapha Njie -TAF. And I give a lot of talk now. Every week, I post about 4 different videos, which is very educational. I have been posting series of how the Reef TAF was built. And now we have a TAF hub. A TAF hub, what we do, we invite other personnel within the industry, be it surveyors, lawyers, real estate developers, you name it, to come and give a talk on real estate and issues that matters. Actually, we just recorded another Gunjurian citizen who is the permanent secretary, the Ministry of Lands, Regional Government and Religious Affairs, Mr. Buba Sanyang. And he will be coming in the coming weeks. We have 4 episodes with him. We had one that we did with Mr. Paru Lumbai. We did one with Kimbeng Ta, who is an advocate, a lawyer at the Ministry of Justice. And there are so many people who are experts who are coming on board. And we play it now on Sundays. Every Sunday, we play it on GRTS, on Star TV, on PTV, and on iAfrica. It's all synchronized. So it's about, again, that's our social responsibility. We want to educate the public. There are so many things that are going wrong in the real estate sector. So all this is being shown so that people will learn from some of the things that are going wrong.
Yes, thank you, Uncle Chaf. I think back in July 2021, you boldly say with the Gambians and the international world, Gambian public, that you had posted COVID-19, and also you talk about your hypertension for 24 years. This is bold, considering average Gambian or many Gambians don't even want you to know they have flu or cold. For you to come out in the midst of a lot of doubts about COVID and the injection and all those things. This is really a personal appreciation for me. I didn't know when you did this. I saw it when I was going through everything that you write, up to back in last January. So, thank you for that, because, this is what is about, the whole about mentoring, role modelism, and somebody sacrificing his privacy, definitely to encourage others, to come on board and do this. And before we go, I'm just going to also ask you about your golf lesson. How far you've gone with that anyway. So whether you are now a prof in that, and all those things.
I am practicing. But Ibrahim, before you go,
yes.
It's about ailments. I take the opportunity every time I have events like this to talk about ailments, like sickness, when you are sick, and you should voice it out. And I will tell you what my belief is. If you are sick and you voice it out, you will find somebody who will help you get the closest treatment. At times, they are very close to you, somebody who has suffered it, had the experience, and he will share his experience with you, or somebody that he knows. If you hide it, they will never know, so you can die of it. It's the same as when you have a problem. When you have a problem, share it. If you share it, you will have a solution. But we Africans are very good in hiding things. So you are talking about my hypertension and also my COVID. I had cancer. I had prostate cancer about 12 years ago. And I had to go through surgery. I went to England and I was doing, an advanced procedure was done on me. So I talk about it all the time because there's quite a lot of Africans, especially at about our age or even younger, who are dying of this because they are hiding it. Look, the ailment, there is no stigma in sickness. It is God who put it on you. If you have COVID-19, if you don't take the right protection, like somebody like me, when I had COVID, I had taken my 2 jabs already. And I was very careful, but I had it. I mean, what's his name? The UK Prime Minister had it. Donald Trump, when he was president, he had it. So many important people have had it. So who are you not to have it? What is important is that when you have it, just do the right treatment and follow the right protocols. Here I am now. I thank God that I am okay and I'm moving around. I took my treatment. I isolated. Hypertension, I have been hypertensive since I was 40. So it's 24 years now. Every day I have to take medication. So when I'm doing the right thing, thank God, I hope that I will live to 100. So that's my advice to us, because some people are listening that have never heard it. We need to talk about our ailments. No stigma. No stigma. If something goes wrong with you, share it. Somebody can say, oh, no, really, I know my cousin who went through it, and this is what he did. And okay, actually, I had it. This is what I did. So do this. Go and see this guy. Do this. So that is one thing that I want to advise, not only the youth, but every other listener, that let us not stigmatize sicknesses. It's God who's put it on you, and there's nothing you can do about it. My golf, since I developed golf courses now, by the way, in the TAF City, we are going to build a golf course there. So all you Gunjurians are going to start playing golf. So, because
we have this all those things. We are going to do the football so that we can win. The new team can win. We can go into the first division to play with Banjuls and all those things. When you go there, hopefully
we can produce a Tiger Woods. We can produce a Tiger Woods from Gunjur.
And tennis also, but coming to the sicknesses and the stigma. I came here 2017. I have cancer. I didn't recover fully when I came, when my collar went and everything else. And today I'm proud, people who are in the similar situation are reaching out to me, and I will give them my advice and giving them hope that if I can recover from it, you can recover. There's no point, sitting on these sicknesses and without, because what works for me may work for somebody else. What all the skills and all whatever I learn from it, but I'm here, thank God. As you said, there's no stigma in sickness. Anybody at any time can be sick. What we need to do collectively, we come together, share our experiences. And I cannot believe that, you went through cancer, COVID, and hypertension and all that. But you are here. You're still here. Running, and, your unyielding energy is a surprise to me. Seeing you in the sunshine, running, playing golf and all those things. And doing the agricultural bit of it and on all the exercise that you're doing, really speaking, speaks about who you are. Never give up. Whatever sickness you have, share with somebody and they will give you their experience. And we will be a better people. A better people when we communicate, about our sickness. No stigma at all. Yeah. So finally, Uncle Taf, I'm going to leave you. I would love you to be here as long as possible, but we will bring you here also again so that we can talk about other issues. That today is about TAF City, but we have a lot of things you raise on your Facebook page. Please, people, follow these pages, and you will know we will have love to discuss about the real estate chaos sometimes. But you said be the best of what you want to be. Don't just get into it, for the sake of being there. Once again, your last word to our viewers all over the world watching you here, Uncle Taf.
Well, my last words always to the youth. You know, as you know, I'm a youth man. I mean, my Twitter name is Youth Man. I am very young at heart. You know, very young at heart. I try to be as young as possible, and to make the difference in people's lives. You know, Ibrahim, I am 64. In February, I'll be 65. I will qualify to be a senior citizen anywhere in the world. So really, what people like us should be looking for in life is our legacy. How can we help you, the young ones? So I want to appeal to Gambians in general, anybody who's listening, that let us work together as one country. Gambia is small by any means. A population of 2 million plus. Let us shun away from some of the things that we're hearing now. The issue about tribe, the issue about greed, corruption. That will not take us anywhere. Let us learn from the best practices. Let us learn from countries like Singapore. Let us learn from countries like Dubai. Let us, in the UAE. Let's learn from countries like even Rwanda. We can make it. The Gambia is blessed with a young population. Let us, for the young ones, let us be ready to work hard. Let us be ready to stop the issue of entitlement. This man hasn't done this thing for me. This guy who hasn't, my cousin, my uncle, my father hasn't done this. Go out there and be a winner. None of us started from where we are. All of us started, most successful people you see today, not only in Gambia, all over the world, they started from humble backgrounds. Sir Richard Branson started from very humble background. He did everything for himself, and look at him today as a billionaire. If he can make it, you can make it. Actually, when I was starting business, I read a lot of books about him. He was one time my role model from a business point of view. So therefore, you young ones that are there listening, take up the responsibility and stop the blame game. You all play football. You know, football, you don't wait for the ball. If you wait for the ball, you will never get it. So you have to go for the ball. So from now on, anybody who hears me, young people, please avoid the issue of what we're seeing now. Over the next 2 months, we're going to see a lot of political parties giving you T-shirts, giving you money. You are there shouting. My friend, after the 5th of December, you will not see them again. And if anything goes wrong in this country, we are not going to be identified by the parties we belong. When things are expensive in this country, or when you want to buy goods, if you go to the supermarket, they will not ask you which party you belong. They don't ask you which tribe you come from. They will not ask you which village you come from or which town you come from. What they will just say, look, the price of rice is so much, you have to pay. So therefore, let us collectively, as Gambians, try to turn this country around. This country is blessed with opportunities. Unbelievable. So for me, the reason why I invest so much in the young people, because I believe in you young people, that you are the people who can change things. Those of us in our age and even a bit below, we are gone. Nobody can change us again. So those of you who are about the age of 18, about the age of 30, you must say, look, we are going to change. We are going to do the right thing. We are going to turn the Gambia to be amongst the best countries in Africa. That's my wish. And I am praying that I will live to see that. It's not difficult for a country as small as 11,700 kilometers. It is not 11,700 square kilometers. A country that is only a bit above 2 million people. It is not difficult. But we have to change our attitude. We have to be ready to work hard. We need to be sweat. And it's only when you sweat that you will earn what you deserve. So Ibrahima, last word, I want to thank you for this. And please feel free. Anytime you want me on your show, I will come. Because this is what I owe you, the young ones. To be very frank with you. To be very honest with you. Give you the advice that you deserve. Yes, see us as role models. But see us as people who didn't just get success that fell off from the sky. We are people who work hard for it. Every day now, because of this Gunjur project, what do? I get up very early in the morning. After Fajr, now I am hitting the road. You're in my pictures. The last time somebody saw me, said, don't do so again. I am so even as young as you guys are. You saw the fence that I was working on. You guys cannot do it. It's because I have been doing it all my life and I enjoy it. I have a passion for it. I was a carpenter when I first started. So there's nothing wrong in learning a trade, a skill. I appeal to you young ones, please pick up a skill, try and learn something. Even further, let's take it up to those who go through the back way. I always say this, Ibrahim. Let's imagine even if you go through the back way, but when you were going, you had a skill. You were a good tiler or a good plumber or a good electrician. You will be employed in Europe and you know that they pay these things. So arm yourself with a skill first before you venture. If you have to go, if you have a skill, you are not going to sit there as a refugee or work as a laborer, but you will work with the skills that you have. On that note, Ibrahim, I want to thank you very much for this honor and a privilege. It is my duty to talk to you young ones. I can go non-stop because I have a deep passion for it. Whatever people say, that's their right to say it, whatever. But we are not all the same. I see my brother Sajo commenting, Sajo Banyang. We all grew up together. Number 40, 41 New Perseverance. He knows our background. He was living with his uncle. Sajo, I saw your comments. We know each other. So he knows me inside out. So in Gambia, we don't have any difference. We all live together. Let us stop this issue of tribal lines. When anybody tells you that, look, we are all Wolofs, or we are all Manjago, or we are all Mandinkas, he is fooling you. It's for his own interest. Let us, all the young ones, take all this tribal issue and push it aside and see ourselves as Gambians. If we do that, we are all winners. If we don't do it, we are all losers. Thank you very much, Ibrahim.
Thank you. Gambia dina them by force,
Yeah,
Gambia
dafa dem diakuya.
Why did
so
you use
them? If you don't want to go, you stay there. Yeah, if you don't want to go, it's your problem. But we are going. Those who want to go, please come and join me. We are going. And it is the Gambia dafa dem diakuya that made us successful in Nigeria. That was made us in Sierra Leone. That's why Guineans are calling us. If I tell you, Ibrahim, even South Africa, Zimbabwe, Namibia, where they're calling, I cannot do everything. And I am a small poor Gambian who started my life as a carpenter. So if I can do it, you can do it. I like you to stay that. Let all the young ones say, put it in their mind, with a positive mind, ne Gambia dafa dem diakuya. We are going. That's what the Emiratis did. Dubai, 50 degrees hot, small place. They were focused, they had good policies, and what happened? Today, everybody goes there. Look at Rwanda. Rwanda is landlocked. They had genocide in 1994. Close to 1 million people were killed. Look at today. They are running airlines which are almost covering now the whole of the world. Universities are going there. People are getting educated. The places were built. So if Rwanda can do it in less than 20 years, we can do it. And that's the spirit that we should have. Let us take out all negativity away. My friend, we are all the same. Whether you are Manjago, Sose, Olaf, doesn't matter. What difference? If I stand with you today in front of anybody, we don't speak. Who will know who is a Mandinka or who is a Wolof?
Nobody will know.
It's not important. How will we know he's Christian or he's Muslim? What is important is what you can do with yourself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us all our organs, hands, feet, eyes, to think and compete in the world. And me, that's my dream. I am praying that one day we will see Gambians, we are people like all of you, we are all positive and we can compete at the international level. Recently, I am seeing quite a number of Gambians and we're going to employ some. There are 2 Gambians in UK. Actually, I was supposed to be in London yesterday, but this corona thing that I just cancelled it.
Yeah.
2 Gambians reached out to me that, Uncle Taf, we are coming home. This is our profession, and we are going to interview them. If they qualify, we're going to employ them. We're encouraging Gambians who are there. Look, we have advisory services. When they reach out to me, they know I pick things up, I answer their emails. We have our foundation that is dealing with the diaspora. So that when you come, you have a soft landing. Because you guys, some of you have not been here for a very long time. But Gambia is not bad there. I'm telling you, what I tell you outside and what is here is different there. It's different. And it is our own. It is our own country. If we don't fix it, nobody will fix it for us. So no matter how bad, let us try and work together. This is what is going to keep us. Parties doesn't matter to us because all these politicians, they are all the same. Me, I will say it boldly. Well, after the 5th of December, whatever they tell you, you will not see them again. I'm telling you. So, young ones, let's put our heads together. Let's look for the best package, somebody who can move this country and be side with it. I'm not telling you who. We all have one vote. But please, let's look for a country with prosperity. That's what we need. We need to see the price of rice to go down. We need to have fish. We need to have good football pitch. We need to have good light, good water. That is what is important. It's not because Ibrahim comes from Gunjur and I come from Banjul. That's absolutely unnecessary. Me today, if I go to some countries in Africa, they will not give me nationality. And by the way, I don't need even nationality to stay in those countries. I was living in Nigeria for almost 10 years now. And I have a right in Nigeria. Actually, some policies in government, some housing policies, I am involved because last year I won the best real estate developer of the whole of Nigeria. So they don't see me as a Gambian. That's how Nigerians are positive. Some committees, when they form it within Nigeria, they call me in. So really, let us forget about this our race. You guys are there in England. You are benefiting some of the things that are owned by white people. And when you work, you take that money, you send it to us, and we sell you houses. You are there responsible for our businesses to progress. You pay the school fees. Tobaskis, you are the guys who pay for it. School fees, you name it, going to Mecca. So really, the issue about border is irrelevant. It's what we can do for ourselves as human beings. So we hope that from now on, you young ones can look at yourself as Gambians and move this beautiful country. It's a beautiful country. Let's forget about all the negative things and see us together as one. We are one. So when I come to Gunjur, I can sit with you and eat durum with you. You come to my house, you can come here, I can chew for you. You go to Sukuta, we are one. We have never known this. It is new. We should stop it. Anybody who has public space to speak out, let us stop it because it's dangerous. We have seen countries that went down, they went down because of this. Some politicians will use it against one another. And by the time you know, you are carried, and next thing, the worst can happen. We pray that it should not happen, but please, 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 you the young ones, talk to your friends, your families, that look, let's not be divided. On the 4th of December, I have one card. I am going to make my choice. It's only me and Allah who will know who I vote for. That's your choice. And when you vote, go to your house. Don't cause any trouble because on the 5th of December, you will need to go and find your own food. They will not give it to you.
Wallahi. Wallahi.
So Ibrahim, I'm sorry. I'm very passionate about this.
This is important. This is important. I cry, and many people are crying because the Gambia we know. My grandfather, Pa Anes, came from Sierra Leone. Here I am in Gunjur. Somebody is tagging me as a Mandinka. These things kills me. My father's mom is a Fula. I'm a rainbow Gambian. I'm not tribe at all. Gambia can killing. Gambia deny them by force. When you don't jump in force, you're going to be left out. And you will know that this country, no matter how negative you are, is going to be here. And we are going to make sure this country works. This is the only place that we have. Uncle Taf, wisdom, wisdom, wisdom. You use ingenuity to use your service. You could have retired and go and enjoy your life. But no, you are talking to me. The moment I call you, you've never known me, you pick the phone. You've been leading these discussions, and you've been doing the contact between me and you. I'm so humble. Gambia is grateful to you. We will keep praying so that we can have you. as our leaders, our mentors, as our entrepreneurs, and the philanthropism aspect. We know a lot. You know, Sadio Bayani is my brother, and he told me a lot. We cannot discuss all that here. But Gunjur Online is grateful. My viewers are grateful. We will have you back again here and discuss things that are going to benefit us, especially our youths, you know, so that we can be in our countries. A lot of Gambians are here with a lot of educations, qualifications, qualifications. I'm not demeaning, but they are doing jobs that are menial jobs. They could have been back home and be role models and have impact in the country. Hopefully, cities like TAF City will encourage the diaspora so that we can grow and grow our kids in a culture that they know, that they are proud of, that they can know their people. 99% of their people, they don't know them. They have no connection with them. Once again, thank you so much. We are so grateful. Stay where you are. I'm not going to ask you to be the president. You are more than the president of a country. What you do.
Don't give me that angle.
No, don't go there. Be where you are and keep giving us, all of us, every government from across everybody, the tribes, the regions, anywhere, the languages. You are accessible to all of us. Thank you once again. Greetings to everybody and greetings to
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And also, Suleiman Ben Suare really put some good words for you. I think I will mention him. You know, he sent me a message that, you know, he said, Ibrahim Kadrer Jane is a good chap. Please give him an interview. So, you know, that's one thing about when you do good, you know, you will always, things will be ahead of you. When I went to Nigeria, that was what happened. A lot of people before I said, oh, no, we know about you. We've done enough research. So I just want to give him compliments. He sent me some messages and said, look, Ibrahim is a serious boy, you know, and please give him an interview. So you see, the moment he said so, and the things I'm seeing from my brother, as I said, people like Sajo, I'm seeing all the comments, very positive comments. That's what we need in Gambia, positivity. Let us grow it. Let us grow the positivity. Let's dump the negativity. You know, this guy belongs to this camp, this color, this, that is not negative, that's irrelevant. What is important is how can we do things so that we have the best houses that are affordable to everybody? How can we have good roads? How can we have good agricultural produce? How can we start exporting things that are produced in the Gambia? So when we take our narcos when we cultivate tomato, we will go through the whole value chain. Now have it all turned into tomato paste and can it and export it. Those are things we need to ask yourself. You know some of the things I'm looking for, Gunjur, is avocado. The last time I was listening to CNN, an avocado has a heavy price, a good price in the world market. They're growing it in South Africa. So I have some Israeli guys who are coming to do some research on avocado. You know, some of the land that we have, as I told you, is for agricultural. So imagine if you put in high-yielding avocado. We can start packaging it. And we'll make sure that we bring in cold rooms that we are going to put it so it will not perish. You know? So, Ibrahim, I will not stop. I can go on and on. But I love this, and I can only wish you well and pray for your recovery also. We're praying for you, for your health, because health is everything. And anybody in that state, you know, our prayers are with you. And please, feel free anytime. Anything with Gambia that is positive, I'm part of it. That is why I answer every phone call. I don't segregate any call unless I'm sleeping. I put my phone on silent. But anytime, if you call me, I say, yes, hello, what is it? If I can solve it, I will say, yes, do this. If I cannot do it, I say, I'm sorry, I cannot do it. I try at most of the time, when you send me email, if it's to do with my foundation, I forward it. I have a coordinator, a young lady that I employ who's the coordinator of the foundation. I send it to different departments. My management staff at TAF Africa Global, the average age for the whole management, all these things, crazy things we are doing, the average age is 30. Average age is 30. And guess what? 72% of them are ladies. 72%. So really, Ibrahim, we'll have another session.
Yes.
Let's stop.
Yes,
So,
definitely. I will leave you. I'm not going to say anything now. Anything.
Yeah, I enjoyed it very well, and I hope I've done justice to it. We are only praying. I cannot stop praying that. I cannot stop praying that. That let us forget all these small, petty things. Sohor, Anyan, born, if somebody progresses, if Ibrahim is progressing, let me see how I can add value to your program and Go TV. We have in Wolof, wax baaxi jàmbur waaye ñu dara ci sa bos. It will only add value. And we must learn as Gambians to embrace success. There's no harm in being successful. But here in this country at times, I'm sorry to say, but people will even want to make you to have a complex over your success. Why? I mean, Ibrahima, the country now should have Aliko Dangote. Why? We should have 20, 30 Aliko Dangote. It will progress.
Wallahi.
Huh?
No,
Everybody, we all cannot remain poor. I hear this thing, oh no, how about a house for the poor people? My friend, say, how are you going to help the poor people to go up? And how are you going to help yourself? How am I going to elevate my status? That is what's important. That's the question you need to ask. And to elevate your status, you have to work. But if you sit at home and just say, oh no, Ibrahim is the one who has money, he has to help me. My friend, there's nowhere in the world where that exists. We have to say each other the truth and be bold. And that's the only way we can all survive. Ibrahim, I will leave you. I am more than happy. Excellent program. I hope that those who have listened to this will learn from it, or you can share it as much as possible. So the young ones, one, will change their attitude, they will ready to work, and also let's stop negativity. Let us all be positive as Gambians.
Gambia dina dem by force. Diakuya, Gambia can killing. Uncle Tough, thank you. Prayers for your health. Prayers for you
Thank
to be
so much.
I'm not going to say anything. So I will bring you here again. Thank you.
Yeah. Inshallah. Anytime.
Yes. Definitely.
All right. Thanks.
We're going to TAF City with the rest of the sales team. TAF City is our new estate located in Gunjur C4 area. Hopefully, when we are there, we will give an overview of how the place looks like. Here today, the sales team, to introduce ourselves or to familiarize ourselves with the upcoming TAF Africa development called the TAF City. This is located between Gunjur and C4. It's going to be a smart city where you can live, work and play.
The TAF City is a pilot project of the micro cities that we want to roll out in Africa. So we're starting in the Gambia and obviously rolling it out in Africa as we try to reach 1 million homes within the next 20 years. So don't miss out.
Now we just started the road works and the layout for the garden. I'm targeting that before the end of the year, works will start in earnest, houses will be built. So start sending your inquiries to our sales team. And this is the best place to live in the Gambia.